You ever miss those talks we had on the elevators?
No.
Come on, remember how we'd all ask you about life on the flotilla? It was an opportunity to share.
This conversation is over.
Tell me again about your immune system.
I have a shotgun.
Okay, Thane, sorry about earlier. What's the issue for real?
My body is blessed with the skills to take life. The Hanar honed them in me. I have few others. I didn't want that life for Kolyat. I hoped he would find his own way. If he hated me, so be it. He would not have shared the path of sin. Something happened that should not have. He knows where I've been, what I've done. I don't know his reasons, but he has gone to the Citadel. He's taken a job as a hitman. I would like your help to stop him. This is not a path he should walk.
That's not unreasonable. Wanting your kids to be better than you were, and not wanting him to become an assassin just because he was one. We'll track him down when we have the chance. And I say that as Liara, in assistance with the data Cerberus has uncovered, is very close to finding the Shadow Broker and killing his ass. And that takes priority. This is another DLC mission that, it has some nice flavors, but it feels like it should have been part of the main game. A lot of the Mass Effect DLC feels like that, honestly, fitting perfectly into the story that you wonder why it was kept separate to make you spend more... Oh, right. Honestly, that's probably how good DLC should be executed, versus DLC that in fact is the ending to the game that for some reason has been kept out of the actual game, or serving as pay-to-win content. Yeah, I know I just went over that, but it doesn't stop it from being true. Anyways, as we give her the data, she tells us about Farron, a Drell that was key in retrieving our corpse. It's kind of weird to talk about us like that. Who was actually a double agent for the Shadow Broker and Cerberus. The interaction she had with him eventually leading him to side with her and give us to Cerberus. But at the cost of himself. As said, her seeking revenge on him and becoming a colder but stronger person has been motivated a lot by that. We're told to meet her later at her apartment, only to find officers on the scene. Turns out someone tried to off her. It's here we meet Televizir, another Spectre, and it should surprise no one that sets off warning bells, as the only ones we've met so far have been A, killed, or B, working against the public interest of the galaxy. And I am instantly suspicious. Not just because of that, but she never seems to tell why she's there. Never gives a reason, nor is there really a dialogue option that allows us to ask. So it's no surprise to me that, as we find Liara's hidden clues, because we know her, and track her down, that Tela turns on us, actually working for the Shadow Broker. Not realizing, or not caring, that he's now on the side of the guys that are seeking total galactic annihilation, simply so he can survive the culling. Not that culling. So Tela steals the data that's been deciphered, and makes a break for it, Liara following, and us following on foot, until it's time for a car chase.
Hang a right, no wait left. We're not going into the construction site, Oh goddess. Go, 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 go!
I'm going!
Traffic! Oncoming traffic!
We'll be fine.
Truck!
I know.
Truck!
I know.
Oh, stop. You act as if we're a terrible driver. I'll have you know my real-life car gets absolutely zero traction in winter, and I have yet to crash into anything more than once. Wait. Well, Tela's a worse driver than us, as her car crashes first, at a luxury resort, leading to one final face-off where she takes a hostage, throwing the whole Cerberus thing in our faces, even though one would think that of all the military divisions that should understand having to work with undesirable people to get shit done, it'd be a Spectre. But after the day I've had...
Is that it?
What?
Visir. I let the Destiny Ascension die with 10,000 people on board, including the Council. I unleashed the Rachni on the galaxy. So for your sake, I hope your escape plan doesn't hinge on me hesitating to shoot a damn hostage.
You're bluffing.
she's right, of course. There's always a line the Spectre shouldn't cross. And the fact most of my team put more value of sentient life despite being made up of killers and murderers than she seems to... Well, one wonders when she lost the line between innocent and acceptable losses to get the job done. Tella's kind of a difficult enemy to fight, honestly, what with her using biotics to warp around the area, and calls up Mecha to cover herself. But survive long enough, and she'll go down nonetheless, and then try to justify herself.
The broker's given me damn good intel over the years. Intel that saved lives and kept the Citadel safe. So if the broker needs a few people to disappear, I'll pay that price without hesitation.
And you could see us walking that same line as her with our Devil's Deal with Cerberus as well. But at least we know where the line is, and how far we can trust. Tella did not, blindly believing that keeping the broker happy would allow her to do her job better, when she was being sent as an attack dog, being bought off for such work. A pity. Had we been able to convince her, we'd finally have had a Spectre on our side for the coming conflict. The data leads us to Hagalaz, and a ship suspended within a storm, following the Dawn Terminator around the planet. The change from night to day, so strong the storm it's in is self-propagating.
And all the energy captured in the ever-present storm is powering the ship! How cool is that?
Less cool is how we need to fight across it after landing to get inside. Really, you don't think the heavy suit of armor I'm wearing would be kind of a lightning rod when we're not near the lightning rods? Okay, I guess we're not even safe near the lightning rods. But as we get inside, we find out Farron's alive! And being shocked by the stored lightning!
Wait, lightning? Farron? Allie Hillis? Lightning returns has come for me again! Ah!
Driving home from my night lab, realized something had changed.
Yeah, talking to the guy just results in him being repeatedly shocked, which doesn't have lasting comedic value, but it's a surprise to Liara, who has spent 2 years believing he's dead. Still, while we're here, we can take down the Shadow Broker. And considering how many forces he's sent at us, and his specialty is information, he probably spends all day behind a desk. You know what? I bet it's a Hanar or a Solarian, and we have nothing to worry.
Reckless, even for you, Commander. Your arrival is convenient. The Collector's offer still stands.
We are going to need bigger guns.
And yes, he still wants to sell us for his safety from the Reaper invasion.
You travel with fascinating companions, Doctor.
And if nothing else tells you how Liara's changed since the first game, it's this scene.
Is that right? You're a Yogg, a pre-spaceflight species quarantined to their homeworld from massacring the Council's first contact teams. I'm guessing you were taken from your world by a trophy hunter who wanted a slave. Or a pet. How am I doing?
Free tip to Sony. Pissing someone off so they attack without a plan doesn't work so well when you do that with someone that can punch out your blood. The Broker has some of the most advanced gear in known space protecting him, so his defenses are top-notch.
Gee, it's almost as if that's something we should have, considering we have an organization invested in keeping us at the forefront of stopping an invasion. Or hell, salvageable from what's here.
Hell, it even beats the almighty Spectre Punch. But with the window given, Liara vaporizes him using the capacitor that's surprisingly present in his office.
Why the hell would you have that there? That's a death trap waiting to happen. Okay, from a game standpoint, I get why, but not in an in-universe reason why he'd have his office in such a location. The Broker's not a Bond villain, guys.
But as they hear his agents report in, well, Liara sees an opportunity.
This is the Shadow Broker. The situation is under control. I want a status report on all operations within the next solar day.
Shadow Broker, out.
and takes it. Liara's taken over, and I can't state enough how much of a boon that will be once she and Farron, who's going to stay to help, get through everything.
Already, we can't state enough how helpful that is. Here we can get advanced ability training, several free upgrades, and resource caches if we check in between missions. Even buy star charts to hidden systems and spend money to influence galactic politics to improve our odds.
And if you punched out Algiani, you see it's caught on through the Shadow Broker surveillance network. Everybody wins! Another favorite is the expanded dossiers that give additional details on the crew.
Granted, a lot of this is supposed to be after the game stuff, but once you wrap the Ilium stuff, it doesn't make sense to not do it if you have the data.
And to wrap up the quest line, we can invite Liara up to the ship to just talk. If you're romancing her, this is the opportunity to follow that. But since I'm not, let's move on. To other relationship stuff. As after loyalty missions is where you can begin to trigger the events to lead into a relationship, and I start such with Tally, who will get back to Shepard on that. Anyways, let's take care of Thane's kid Kolyat on the Citadel, shall we? Captain Bailey helps us track down the agent that's likely gone out and hired Kolyat. We're kind of surprised he's this welcoming, but I get where he's coming from. There's a lot of reasons people commit crimes, and a lot of people don't care about it. If one can be prevented, he's just willing to help. The agent, Mouse, is actually someone Thane knows, as when he was a kid, he was a resource for collecting information, as the managed kids on the Citadel end up knowing its ductwork quite well. But he went full-time criminal, and thought Kolyat was taking up the profession with Thane's blessing. So we got to go a little renegade to get things moving. Kolyat was hired by a local politician, Elias Kellum, who we have brought in to get some details.
The hell are you two?
Mr. Kellum, this is Agent T. I'm Agent S. We're here to ask you if you've seen any little green men.
And what the hell? Let's have Thane play good cop. I'll be bad cop. The Spectre Punch apparently needs some work if the broker is any indication.
Ease up. He's no use to us dead.
This, of course, being said in a voice that does imply Kellum's overhearing it, so we step it up a notch.
I'm done being patient. Give me a name or I'll cut your balls off and sell them to a Krogan.
You know, that'd be a lot more intimidating with the Omni Blade from the next game.
Sure enough, he eventually names the target is Joran Talid.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Joran's an Turian politician who built his campaign off of anti-human negativity, regardless of your role in saving or dooming the Council, mainly focused against the rapid advancement of humans in galactic position and rampant crime they've caused, all while fleecing the local establishments personally for protection money alongside his Krogan personal security. Shown as we follow him around in his daily routine, so as to intercept Kolyat making his attempt.
In other words, typical barefaced politician hypocrisy. Pun intended, as he is a barefaced Turian, a sign in their culture of one that is not to be trusted.
Hey, who are you?
I don't have time for this.
Spectre Punch! Eventually we corner Kolyat as he ambushes Joran, father and son facing off as things continue to escalate. Well, might as well make this quick.
I don't need your help.
Spectre Punch! Thane takes it from there, explaining his responsibility, and the weight of the path Kolyat was recklessly putting himself on, what it would cost him, as it has costed them both.
Kolyat, I've taken many bad things out of the world. You're the only good thing I ever added to it.
Fortunately, Bailey continues to show how good a man he is, implying he has some lost opportunities with his family as they take Kolyat into custody. And with a little threat, we work out a deal for the younger Drell.
Give him a job. He can work off his debt to society, and you can keep an eye on it.
And I just love the air quotes there, as no one in this whole mess hasn't been some form of criminal, but more of the shady stuff, such as helping obtain evidence against people that need to be put away, that might be something he can do.
You know, when I went looking for an assassin, I expected to get a badass. You seem more like a monk.
In my experience, those who are truly dangerous don't act like they are.
And so Thane's loyalty is assured, and we can get back to more important things, such as Shepard's love life, which is progressing, Tali researching ways to not have her immune system screwed over because, well, she doesn't want the suit to be the border between them.
If I'm going to be with you, I want it to be real. I need to feel your skin on mine. I've never shown my face to anyone, but I'm ready to show you, if I can do it without dying.
The mystery of her face is kind of the initial draw, wanting to see what's behind the suit the Quarians wear. I've seen the Mass Effect 3 scene with such. It's kind of disappointing from a game design standpoint for the payoff that comes, but I care more about the character than how they look.
And while we are in the area of the Citadel, Garrus has found a lead on Sidonis. Some of his former CSEC contacts sent him a line that he's on the station, and he is ready to put things to rest.
You humans have a saying, an eye for an eye, a life for a life. He owes me 10 lives, and I plan to collect.
And that will leave the world blind and barren. Probably not the best phrase to take from the less refined eras of our society.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be made to pay in some form, but considering, you pissed off half of Omega, it's not surprising they tried to get to someone and lean on them. To really put things to rest, something of this a personal nature, it can't be through a bullet in the brain from afar. But that's for later. First, we have to find the guy supplying fake identities to criminals, a guy named Fade. Fade, as it turns out, has backdoor access to CSEC files with which to wipe people's identities in favor of the new ones he sells. Because the guy behind it? It's the scumbag we met the last game, Harkin, who's gone from dirty cop to full-time criminal.
This is my surprised face. Inconceivable.
And we have to fight through the Blue Suns and a bunch of robots to get to him. And Garrus is decidedly not happy about these delays.
You were close, but not close enough.
Boom! Right in the kisser.
So, Fade. Couldn't make yourself disappear, huh?
Well, he has been part of this secret government operation to recreate the invisibility gland of Bigfoot, so that makes sense. Does anyone remember this show?
And yeah, we beat the information out of Harkin, and he arranges Sidonis to come to us. But that leaves a loose end.
Kill you? No. But I don't mind slowing you down a little.
At least he'll get to shoot someone, for as we set up Sidonis' assassination...
Wave him over and keep him talking.
As you wish. And so, I let Sidonis spill out his heart. The betrayal of Garrus and his team wrecked him. Every day stuck with the guilt of his actions.
I wake up every night, sick, and sweating. Each of their faces staring at me, accusing me. I'm already a dead man. I don't sleep. Food has no taste. Some days, I just want it to be over.
He's punishing himself more than Garrus ever could.
Look at him, Garrus. He's not alive. There's nothing left to kill.
And so, Garrus decides to not take the shot. And once more, comes out a better man for restraining his impulse.
I couldn't do this without you, Garrus.
Sure you could. Not as stylishly, of course.
Too true. I mean, look at the styles of the future for humanoids. They are terrible. Garrus actually looks cool.
Next on our list is Taylor, who's gotten some rather baffling news about his father. His dead father. The one that died 10 years ago when his ship went missing while surveying the outer rims for habitable worlds to stake a claim on. Well, turns out that missing ship, someone or thing got its distress beacon active, and he got forwarded the coordinates of where it's transmitting from. The guy simply wants closure, which is something perfectly understandable concerning a loved one you can have a complicated relationship with whom you've lost.
He made no apologies, I'll give him that. You make a mistake, you own up to it. Even if you keep making it.
The ship, the Hugo Gernsback, is a total wreck. Auxiliary power or something is working, so we get the beginnings of the situation, in that the local plant life is toxic to humans, causing their mental capabilities to become heavily impaired. Most of the men turning into savages, while the women became more docile.
Why is never explained in anything I could find from research, but with that kind of danger imposed, it's baffling why they didn't get the distress beacon working earlier.
In fact, the BI managing the distress beacon, that gives us the lowdown as we make planetfall, tells us it could have been made operational over 8 years ago, before a full decade of extended exposure to this toxin had long-lasting and potentially permanent effects.
See, our body cells don't exactly age like the rest of us, and individually have varying lifespans. Our blood cycles through a longevity of 4 months. Skin cells die and are renewed every 2 to 3 weeks, and so on. Scientists have mapped that every 7 to 10 years, nearly every cell has been replaced by another, so we're on every level a completely different person. So imagine you've spent 10 years ingesting chemicals that inhibit your body's higher, non-autonomic functions from working correctly. Yeah, these people are never going to be the same again.
The ending notes to this mission try to hide that the toxin can be flushed from their bodies, but the toxin, as explained in the game, does cumulative damage, so I'm not holding my breath. And Taylor's dad, after the captain got killed, was put in charge of them all. The savagery and squalor we see the people reduced to is all his fault.
Now, if this was just short-term and he and a small number of the tech staff withheld their resources so they could get the beacon working and get help, I could see and understand that. Short exposure in hopes they could get cured beats wasting their supplies and them all ending up as savages with no chance of rescue. The problem, of course, being the 8 years they could have been calling for help and didn't. Each day that passed damning those responsible more and more, and making such an act now one of playing God.
Also reinforced by the logbook they've given that details Taylor's dad's descent into megalomania, until he held all of the untainted food for himself and used robots to maintain his power. Yeah, this is one of the areas I mentioned a few videos ago, that the crew had technology that had yet to even be made 2 years ago among their supplies despite being crashed on the planet for 10 years. And that's a context not exactly discouraged when we find the man, openly lying about his role in everything straight to his son's face.
That's the best you can do?
You let all your people talk back like that? Who are you exactly?
Commander Shepard of the Normandy. I believe you're acquainted with Mr. Taylor.
You have to understand, this isn't me. The realities of command, they change you. I wasn't ready for that.
And that'd be believable without the 8-year delay in triggering the beacon.
How he banished the men going feral, and had his collaborators use the women as pets until he too tossed them aside. But a leader does the best for those around him as he is able to.
At some point, you chose to do this to your crew. You.
And every dialogue option we choose just says the same thing, trying to hopelessly justify the creation of his little fiefdom of absolute authority, and failing to even do that. The devolution of the people here is solely his fault, for not being the one that got them home when it could have mattered. And as such, as those reduced to savages gather and our discussion ends, we have no guilt over just turning our heads and walking away.
What do you mean it wasn't you?
Yeah, that surprised me as well. This seemed to be the kind of thing Harper pulled to screw with and then cozy up to his subordinates. The fact he did know about the data and withheld such details is still concerning, though. Once more building that understanding that he doesn't care about people.
Actually, the one responsible is Miranda. See, the two had kind of a thing a while back, and there's some lingering emotional attachment there. and Harper is not happy at all. As I've done this after Miranda's loyalty mission, it can be sort of seen as character development. That with the renewal of her relationship with Oriana and the betrayal of Niket, it has made her more aware of the people she made connections to solely on her own. As for Jacob...
It's all bull, Shepard. Captain Taylor's body has some catching up to do, but the man died a long time ago. I've already dealt with that. I guess he was a good enough father that even he can't screw up what he taught me.
Who to check in with next, then? Grunt's been feeling antsy for some action, and it's something more primal than being cooped up in a spaceship most of the time.
I feel wrong. Tense. I just want to kill something with my hands.
Really? I would have expected something pointy, or a gauntlet that's in some way explosive for force enhancing. Do armored gloves count as with bare hands? I guess it's better than killing someone with bare hands!
But yeah, he doesn't know why, and it's not in Okir's data, and our knowledge bases don't have details on Krogan puberty. And Grunt doesn't like feeling this way.
I want control. When we're moving, fighting, I focus. But here my blood screams, my plates itch, and even you are just noise. I'm tank-born. What is this?
Well, we'll find out, as it's off to the Krogan's barren, irradiated, and totally ruined by their own actions, homeworld of Tachanka, where we are greeted by...
Out of my... Shepard! My friend.
Rex! Buddy! Rex?
Yeah, Rex has been doing very good for himself, taking his place as the leader of Clan Urdnot and, as discussed last game, has finally decided to do something about the Krogan decline, pushing forth alliances with other clans to unify their people to at least stop their decline, enacting policies such as creating zones for the young and those of the species that have some level of fertility to be safe from attack. Possibly make that 1 in 1,000 birth rate actually able to survive to maturity. You know, stuff that would benefit all of the clans by being part of, instead of insular. Saren's action and his role in that actually making the point a bit more clear. A cure for the genophage isn't going to fix what's wrong with their people, only treat a symptom to what's been wrong with their culture for far longer. Granted, not everyone agrees, such as Uvenk and his Tadahog clan, who thinks he's going too far with the changes from the old ways.
You abandon many traditions to get your way. Dangerous.
Speak when spoken to, Uvenk. I'll drag your clan to glory whether it likes it or not.
I've actually never killed Rex when given the option to, because I like Rex. So I have absolutely no idea how the alternative replacement for him would play out, but he's probably the best politician in this game.
Every time I've declared a clan unwelcome, my allies have destroyed them.
Hell, he even treats our revival with good cheer.
Well, you look good. The benefits of a redundant nervous system.
Yeah, humans don't have that.
Oh, it must have been painful then.
Yeah, but it's easy to reenact the ending to I have no mouth and I must scream when in a vacuum.
Anyways, Grunt's issue. As a tank bred, while he may be physically an adult, because of Okir's flawed learning system, he doesn't understand what it means to truly be a Krogan.
You recite warlords, but you are the offspring of a syringe.
Yeah, Worf over there would understandably be wary of clones.
Yeah, that is Michael Dorn voicing Uvenk, by the way. Kinda making the Krogan-Klingon parallel between Mass Effect and Star Trek a bit more transparent. At least Worf was an interesting Klingon. But Okir burned more bridges in the name of his research than he built.
Okir is a very old name. A very hated name. He is dead.
I don't even know this dude.
But Rex at least considers, thanks to our connection, to allow Grunt to undertake the rite, the Krogan's ritualistic passing into adulthood.
Adolescence? Can't we just take him to Omega and buy him a few dances?
Couldn't hurt. Maybe Pedro could give him some tips in wooing the local Asari, as long as it's not Arya. And now I want to see Grunt trying to hit on Arya simply to see the hilarity that would result.
But we're given leave to visit Clan Urdnot's. Dog, look at the fish dog. You know, they're kind of cute when they're not attacking you. Hey, can I bring him with?
No.
Aww.
It's like every place I visit has a companion I want to pick up, but the game won't let me!
Anyways, the guy who sees Grunt to the right is called Shaman, an individual charged with carrying the spirits of their people and directing their bloodlust.
I must perform rites each dawn and dusk to keep me bound into our Krogan nature. Our spirit is one of violence and death. I must be attuned to that.
Your job is awful.
Who Uvenk tries to get to first, but doesn't see anything wrong with the Grunt's nature, but the rite is done in groups.
Name our target, and it will die.
And Uvenk does not like this.
Aliens don't know strength. My followers are true Krogan. Everything about Grunt is a lie.
Ow! Really hope Miranda reinforced Shepard's skull. That's got to hurt.
I like this human. He understands.
Glad to be of service, then. So, what do we have to kill as part of the rite anyways?
Who knows? You must adapt. You must thrive no matter the situation.
That's not encouraging. You know what? It's probably just some native vermin and a scattering of predators to represent the Krogan's resilience. I mean, it's not like the device they have here is going to call a thresher maw. That would be ridiculous.
Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap! Running, 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 running! Why would you do that? Threshers are hard enough to take down with tanks, let alone on foot. Hell, this is the only one we face in the game. Though it does say something about the effectiveness of our weapons, in that what previously took the siege of artillery shells to kill can be done with our standard armaments and a rocket launcher. Mainly the rocket launcher.
Then again, I was using incendiary ammo, cause the voices in my head like to tell me to burn things.
But even after that, Grunt's not exactly sated. Good thing Uvenk decided to come by then, for after everything he's done to denigrate Grunt, tries to get him and his clan with the promise of granting him, well, less than what he already earned.
You're kind of stupid, aren't you?
That's the problem. I'm pure Krogan. Uvik, you were the pretender.
And of course, now we've got to kill him. Like you do. But Grunt's made a full adult by the shaman, clan name and everything, and can serve in their military.
Shepard is my battle master. He has no match.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. Morden's next on our list of mission requestees. Fortunate that we're already where we need to go. One of his former co-workers from when he was with the STG has been taken by the Blood Pack to Tuchanka and Clan Werlock's stronghold. Why?
Yeah, what else can the Solarians do to us at this point? Sound like they can make us even more infertile.
yeah, they totally can't do that at all. I mean, it's not as if the Krogan over time can adapt to the genophage, so it would require reintroduction of the virus. Yeah, they were on the team that did that. Morden, you're awesome and all that, but we need to get you on and off-world as soon as possible. Between you and Rex, I'm going to side with the giant reptile that's probably learned to biotically punch out all my blood.
Oh god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! My blood! He punched out all my blood!
And yes, that's what Malon, Morden's former teammate member, has been asked to do. Use their research in adapting the genophage to try and reverse or weaken its effects.
Now, I feel the whole genophage introduction thing was botched anyways, as it should have come as part of integrating them properly into the galactic society, instead of leaving them to squabble amongst themselves. Like they ended up doing. But the societal reasons why Morden's team did it, again, haven't exactly changed.
The guy's kind of obsessive over data, and from the trends he researched over long long hours, is their birth rate increasing to even 1 in 999, could result in chaos and irresponsible damage. So it's stopping a problem before it becomes a problem, and the Citadel can pretend it's not a problem. He inevitably saw more lives would be saved from not allowing more Krogan to be born, and potentially beginning to rebuild their race than by allowing the genophage to weaken even slightly. And making it even more crippling would lead to the Krogan population dwindling by more than just the attitudes of their race. All it did in the end is artificially imposed a limit organically set upon them by the harshness of their world. It was not, however, meant to make them go extinct like the Council insisted with the Rachni.
Rachni extinction tragic. Didn't want to repeat. All life precious. Universe demands diversity.
Granted, Morden thinks they just saw a random Solarian scientist to make an example out of, but as we head in to rescue them...
Experimenting on humans? That kind of crap is what makes Cerberus start to seem like a good idea.
Never used humans myself. Disgusting, unethical, sloppy. Used by brute force researchers, not thinkers.
Well, now we know why Malon was targeted. And we have someone who just won't shut up to tell us all the details.
When we cure the genophage, Warlock Gold will rule all Krogan. The Krogan rebellions will be...
You talk too much.
See? The human cannot hit a simple target.
See, Zaid? That is how you set someone on fire. I just realized that would have been more informative had I brought Zaid along.
Though there is a reason I do bring Tally. Farther in, we find a soldier from Clad Erdnot who'd been used as a test subject, and he's experiencing side effects, thinking he won't be able to go on. He just needs some encouragement to get him on his feet.
You? I said a badass, not some scout whining like a Quarian with a tummy ache.
I'm standing right here.
We are so paying for that later. Still, everything here just makes Morden angrier and angrier.
Never experimented on live Krogan, never killed with medicine. Her death not my work, only reaction to it.
Seeing every person that died here as pointless losses of life. Sloppy research that is harming more than it's helping. And its manager a callous, spiteful individual that could not possibly understand the meaning of the lives that are being lost.
I think why Morden got so emotional in this is, well, he's done his best to remain detached from those he's working to help. No living test subject if he can avoid it, and everyone he kills have attacked him first or are a threat to those he's defending. But that detachment may have led him to not countenancing correctly the data he'd received, the cultural trends and shifts, that maybe he wasn't seeing everything.
'Cause he certainly didn't expect Malon to be who's in charge, working with the Blood Pack to make the genophage cure possible, and ultimately responsible for everything here he sees as abhorrent. And Malon likewise calling him out for his limited point of view, but not seeing the lives they've stopped from coming into existence any different from the lives they've taken. But the problem is, those lives already exist. We can't know how those who don't come to be will develop. They may be nice and grow up well, or they could turn out to be savages. But Malon doesn't care about that, obviously because he allied with the Blood Pack, who would certainly raise any of their newborn to be as violent and merciless by even Krogan standards to become a threat to everyone. He's not seeing that, even as he wants to clear his conscience, as he's preparing to cause a whole different genocide.
It's a gray issue that doesn't have a good resolution to it. Be pro-life and cause the suffering of many more by those unsuited to handle the fallout that would result, or prevent lives from ever coming to exist.
But he's basing his arguments on what-ifs and could-have-beens, such as a Krogan military stopping things like the Geth and the Batarians, appearing to superimpose a view that more describes Turian's role in the galactic community.
An increased Krogan population would have forced the Council to take steps, likely involving colony rights in the Traverse.
Oh, like that agenda in this file titled Things the Council Should Have Been Doing so as to discourage conflict instead of inciting it. Oh, here's the Krogan Cultural Rehabilitation and Galactic Integration Plan. A list of sanctioned for Quarian habitation worlds on the grounds of heavy repatriations. Negotiation procedures for first contact, both with new races of both organic and cigarette varieties, alongside making peaceful contact with the Geth. A welcome to the greater galaxy package for the former, and a would you please stop attacking our envoys letter for the latter. Oh, this is interesting. There's even approval for further research into the mass relays and Citadel due to structural dating for items being farther off than the height of the Prothean Empire can account for. Oh, and this is probably the best part of it. Yeah, they would have done jack all about it even with the higher Krogan population, because until Saren and Nazara made for their doorstep, it was made plainly clear by their actions that this was not their problem. Even with them not being drafted foot soldiers, Saren would have found some other organic to take part.
Don't you see? We tried to play God and we failed. We only made things worse.
No, you made it so things wouldn't change from how they currently were. It's obvious he's not going to listen to reason, no matter what we say, but of course, he knows nothing of combat.
An atrocity!
Unacceptable experiments. Unacceptable goals. Won't change. No choice. Have to kill you.
And of course, Paragon interrupt to get Morden for crossing his own morality line into the abyss, sending Malon off, but not solving the problem. At least without his data, if he continues such research, he'll have to start from scratch. But that doesn't mean the research should be destroyed. Rex's actions are already beginning to change things, so there may yet be a day where the Krogan could be responsible enough to not endanger everyone around them with unchecked birth rates. And the best person to keep such safe would likely be someone that believes the genophage is tragic but necessary. Thus, we save the data and get the hell out of here. But before we do, we might as well ask a certain question.
Sure you can't come with us?
Wish I could, but I need to keep these short-sighted fools in line.
Fair enough. Wisdom isn't exactly something in great supply on a world suffering through nuclear winter. You what? I made a deal with a bunny cat eldritch abomination for magical powers with which to destroy absolutely god-awful media because he was curious at the phenomena of rage-mongers on our world concerning disposable media, as his species doesn't have a concept of fiction. Ironic considering, they normally do nothing but lie. I'd be surprised that worked, but that was kind of my experience. Then why are you surprised? I didn't know what I was getting into, and you signed up with full knowledge. And they usually prey on those ignorant of the contract. The world I come from had an infestation of the damn things come out of nowhere, and things have gone to hell since they started targeting reviewers as wells of unparalleled negativity. That doesn't sound good. It's not. I assume you've seen Madoka Magica? Unfortunately. We'll imagine a bunch of immature man-children getting access to magic powers, and then seeing F.Day Rhiannon and Lewis Cove collaborate on adapting Paradigm Book 2, The Burning Earth. I don't know what any of those things are. Wait, really? Oh, okay, that'd be why. They are different people here. They're called M. Night Shyamalan. Oh god! Ah, so you know of them. Good. Things kinda went downhill after the first city got totaled, and then they jumped ship. I've been hunting them ever since, and they've been carving up the multiverse by storing power from negative emotions. Wait, why are they dimension jumping? Beats me. I can never get a straight answer out of any of them. Only something about our own hubris and the goddess of the spectrum or some other crap. Well, mine went bye-bye a few months ago after I finally got my ability to turn representations of fictional items into artifacts to freaking work for longer than a minute. I still can't seem to maintain anything past barrier jackets with transformation trinkets. Well, you seem alright for a contractor. Just keep an eye on your soul gem. We found that for contractor reviewers, talking about good things retards the decay. But the more caustic one gets, the closer one gets to being consumed inside out. Yeah, about that. I kinda got it stuffed back in my body. It was screwing with some of my artifacts. Oh. For the love of... Why? I didn't know, okay? Besides, the chain I had it on kept breaking. You have any idea what it feels like to feel like a puppet with its strings cut? Why, yeah, that's why I had mine surgically implanted into my belly button. Oh, that's disgusting! Why would you do that? And now you know. And knowing is half the battle? And knowing is half the battle? No. Why would that be? What? Oh, so tired. Why is my computer on?